You know guys, today's video is going to be a bit upsetting for a lot of people, myself included, because, you see, the purpose of the channel is to see some improvements in the Call of Duty franchise, and even if it means I need to rage bait and be critical on a very regular basis, I'm super down to do that. I find it to be very, very enjoyable actually, but there is a sad reality attached to what Call of Duty is nowadays, and the success behind Call of Duty as a franchise is something that I hate to admit. Obviously, being Call of Duty's #1 rage baiter, you know, the scat master has cognitive dissonance, whatever the fuck that means. And it really does pain me to say that the good old days, the glory days of Call of Duty, they are simply gone. And even when we see the old games resurge in popularity, in my opinion, what I gotta share with you guys today is some brutally sad news for Call of Duty. But before I get into it, I'm gonna need you guys' help with something. Now, I need you guys to leave a like on today's video because I'd like for this to be spread out for as many people to see as possible. And there's a button down there that says subscribe. I highly recommend you guys press that. We're on the way to 50,000 subscribers. We've been making insane fucking progress. You know what to do down in the comments below. Hashtag Fooly50. Guys, we got a stream later today and I'll announce what that is very, very shortly. But without further ado, check out this tweet from Charlie Intel. Call of Duty was the #1 most played game in the US on PS5 and Xbox during the week of June 29th through July 5th. Call of Duty World War II was the 8th most played on Xbox after being added to Gamepass. And we could go ahead in here and take a look at what it looks like for Call of Duty, and the week prior it was #2 and #1 was Fortnite, but Call of Duty HQ is ahead of Fortnite, NBA 2K, Roblox, GTA 5, Minecraft, Marvel Rivals, Madden, WWE, and I know the gooch slickers are frothing at the mouth looking at that with some of the easiest reads and obvious responses any gooch slicker would ever have, talking about, in quotations, game is dead, lol. And when somebody says it combines everything from the HQ, of course it's going to be first, the response is always some random ass cope. In this instance, this guy says that's certainly one perspective. Another POV is that combining all of them into one entry leaves open spots for the rest of the top 10 for other games to enjoy some of the spoils, so to speak. If World War II by itself reached #8, where do you think the more recent CODs would be if they were separated from HQ?
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry.
This is why some people don't deserve to have fucking mouths. Or I guess on Twitter, they don't deserve to have fucking fingers, okay? Because there's only so much cope you could find inside of your tiny ass brain to come up with random shit like this, okay? Let's bring this back up right now because there's two things we gotta talk about. We gotta talk about current COD and we gotta talk about World War II. Remember, COD HQ has an asterisk next to it. Why is there an asterisk? Well, we've talked about this plenty of times, but that includes Call of Duty Warzone 2.0, MW 2019 Part 2 and 3, and Black Ops 6 activity. What does the activity mean? It means special ops, it means zombies, it means DMZ, it means campaign because campaign is online now, which is fucking stupid. It means multiplayer, it means Warzone. It means anything that you can do in Call of Duty nowadays is all being tallied up together in combination to just barely beat out Fortnite, which has been around for like, I don't know, 8 fucking years at this point. A couple of sports games, Roblox and GTA that have been around for God knows how long. I mean, guys, this truly isn't that impressive. And before we take a look at World War II and what World War II was able to do before it got shut down again, let me just remind you that the numbers on Steam tell an entirely different fucking story for Call of Duty. The last time I talked about the Steam charts, they weren't even able to break 70,000 concurrent players. As of yesterday, they are barely reaching over 65,000, guys. That number is getting lower and lower and lower. And I know, it's Steam charts! You keep bringing us Steam charts like they matter! Well, I'm glad you bring that up because in addition to that point, you know what the gooch slickers always be out here talking about, right? Oh, you complain about Call of Duty, but you still play it! Well, that's where I'd like to bring in this tweet from Charlie Intel where he says, unfortunately, new report claims Splitgate 2 developer reportedly paid over $400,000 to influencers to stream and play the game. Splitgate 2 has now lost 90% of its player base on Steam since its launch. No! The reason I bring this up is for two reasons. Number one, this is the game that is being streamed today, so if you guys want to pull up to the stream, we're playing some Splitgate 2. If you want to see me get fucking smoked and probably get upset and pissed off, this is where you want to be. Trust me, it's gonna be a funny ass stream. But not only that, while everybody wants to discount what Steam means for Call of Duty, all of a sudden Steam means something when it comes to a game like Splitgate 2. And let me be straight up, these numbers are not indicative of the enjoyability factor of Call of Duty or Splitgate 2, but I just find it interesting that people will pick and choose when Steam counts and when it doesn't count. And you guys know my stance on this. In the current state of which Call of Duty's in, I'd like there to be more options to play. Unfortunately, we can't play XDefiant anymore, which fucking sucks. And in the case of Splitgate 2, apparently, according to everybody, the game is completely and utterly fucking dead, but Call of Duty is somehow not dead because it's at the top of the fucking PlayStation charts, even though it's 5 COD games combined into one. And according to the Gooch Slickers, the Steam charts don't count, but I guess they do count for Splitgate 2, which is fucking wild, but okay. Well, if it weren't bad enough that XDefiant is actually dead, and that people simply don't have respect for Splitgate 2, that's where the right side of this chart comes in handy, because you see that Call of Duty World War II went from a ranking of 118 to number 8 before it got shut down. If this isn't proof that people don't want to play the current COD, and when the older CODs become more available and accessible on certain platforms that they'd rather play those, then I don't know what does, man, because by the looks of it, World War II wasn't even one of the better CODs of all time. This is not a COD from the golden era, okay? This is way after. This is after the jetpack era, and then Black Ops 4 came out a year later, and it was a little bit different, and then we got the dark ages of COD, which is MW 2019 through the present day. All of those games, I'm sorry if you disagree, but they suck balls.
That shit stinks!
And so when it came to a game like World War II, I didn't go into it expecting it to be the best Call of Duty of all time, because it's certainly not. I wouldn't even say it's in the top 5 CODs of all time. And when that game came out, let's not forget, it was unpopular as all fuck. And when they finally overhauled everything, a majority of the player base was already gone. So this game did not have that popularity factor to it that the current CODs do. And yet it goes from 118 to number 8. Guys, people want to play the older COD games, okay? The only reason that current COD is topping the charts is that Activision found a way to essentially clickbait their fucking shareholders, okay? You want to call me a rage baiter, clickbaiter? Motherfucker, that's what Activision does, not only to you, but their own shareholders, man. Because Call of Duty HQ is not Call of Duty. Call of Duty HQ is a combination of several of the current games and any mode that you can possibly play combined. The fact that Call of Duty and Activision were essentially able to monopolize the FPS genre in a way where they put out a game every single year to great success, unfortunately, that's something that we have to admit, and especially in an era where some people don't want to play Black Ops 6, so they go back to MW 2019 Part 3, and guess what? Their numbers still counts on COD HQ regardless. Again, I hate to admit it, but this was a fantastic strategy out of Activision. I mean, it's manipulative as all fuck, but it literally works, which is why this is so unfortunate that you see a game like Call of Duty World War II climb up the charts this goddamn much, and yet within that same week, it's dead. And we've talked about the RCE issues and the exploits where people can essentially hijack your PC and how unsafe it is to play. We've already talked about that at great lengths. World War II is a game that deserves significantly better. Could you imagine if Call of Duty HQ was not the HQ? Could you imagine if all of these recent games, Black Ops 6, 2019 Part 3 and 2, were separated from COD HQ? I don't think Black Ops 6 would even be in the top 5, maybe not even in the top 10. And for as much as people enjoy MW 2019 Part 3 more than Black Ops 6, I think 2019 Part 3 would actually be a little bit lower. And 2019 Part 2, I mean, brother, toss that motherfucker in the top 500 of this fucking chart. You know what I'm saying? Like, that game sucks balls. And again, for a game like World War II, 8 years after the fact, to compete with some of the games on this chart, it says a lot about the old Call of Duties before MW 2019, guys. And that's the sad news that I have, is that we can't go back. Anytime we attempt to go back, there's always some issue that Activision doesn't give a flying fuck about. They're still gonna charge you full price for a broken, busted ass, hacked infested game. And therefore, you're never gonna see that resurgence in the old COD games the way that World War II just saw. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if someday in the future we get like Black Ops 3 on Game Pass, right? Like, that game would shoot up to the top 5 in my opinion. That's my guess. Unless, of course, there are RCE issues and hacks and exploits in that game too. But the fact that they even allowed us to play this game for free once again, I mean, it was honestly a great move. And that's coming from Call of Duty's biggest rage baiter, you know what I'm saying, guys? Motherfuckers want to talk about, oh, Fooly, all you do is hate, you never have anything positive to say. Sorry. I'm telling you guys something extremely positive right now. World War II wasn't even the best Call of Duty game of all time, and yet I had so much more fun on it than I did on any of these current CODs. And to see it shoot up to number 8, I mean, it's in the top 10 of that week. Like, seriously, could you imagine if Activision never invented the COD HQ? Where would World War II be in comparison to a game like 2019 Part 2, Part 3, or even Black Ops 6. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about all this. What are your thoughts on World War II shooting up that high on the list? And what are your thoughts on Splitgate 2 and the Call of Duty HQ in terms of popularity? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.
This ain't in my body.